Minister for Home Affairs and National Security Herman Gill Francis has called on fellow parliamentarians to emulate the noble deportment of the late Arsene James. At a time when parliamentarians have come under public scrutiny for unbecoming conduct, Minister Francis encouraged colleagues to not only say good things about the departed, but to do so in respect of the living. But Castries Southeast MP Guy Joseph has a different approach.
Whilst the passing of parliamentarian and former leader of the opposition, Arsene James, has caused members of parliament to reflect upon their behavior in the House, especially towards each other, one MP has stated that he will continue to stand up for himself in the manner that he sees best. During speeches made by MPs, including the National Minister Herman Gill Francis, as well as Leader of the Opposition Philip J. Pierre, a call was made for all to emulate the calm and respectable behavior of the late James. However, MP for Castries Southeast, Guy Joseph, who is infamous for his sharp tongue and quick wit, during House sittings, said whilst he has high regard for his deceased colleague, he is not prepared to change his true persona to please the masses.
Can you imagine if all politicians in the House were like Arsene? Arsene brought some special qualities, but all of us are not cut from the same cloth. All of us are not the same. Everybody have different temperaments and different ways. And one thing I've learned in life, I never try to be somebody else. I always try to be me. But I try to do it in as a respectable manner as possible. And sometimes things would happen that you reflect and you say, maybe I didn't handle this thing in the best way that I could. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. Politics will be what it is.
Although small in stature, Joseph said he is definitely able to hold his own, and as long as he is attacked, he will fight back.
A lot of people in the Labour Party today are bullies. They want to be able to bully you around and you're not supposed to say anything. I'm not cut from that cloth. If you take me on, I will take you on in return.
One thing Joseph said he is proud of is the fact that he takes nothing personal. He said he, perhaps more than all his parliamentarians of his day, have come under the most amount of attacks. However, he is able to rise above it all, including his well-known spat with the former Speaker of the House, Peter Foster.
I told the Speaker several times before that incident that we were going to clash one of these days if he continued in the manner that he was going. And then afterwards we met and we laughed and we joke about the whole matter. He actually showed me the pictures of Old Mass where his daughter was playing Old Mass with the old speaker from a radio. So, I mean, that's the level with which I interact with my colleagues, even on the opposite side.
Joseph's firebrand style continues to be a hot topic of debate. Reporting for Hot 7 Nightly News, I am Rochelle Gonzalez.
And former Education Minister and Miku South MP Arsene James was laid to rest Friday. His body laid for public viewing at the Parliament in the morning. We caught the views of the public.
The things I heard he do in St. Lucia while he was a politician, and we thank him very much, and we would like his soul to rest in peace, and wherever he is, let the light keep shining upon him.
Well, my condolences go out to him. He was a great man. He helped a lot of people, but like he had forget me. That's okay though. Blessed love, man.
I was very sad when I heard that Mr. James had died. Mr. James was a well-mannered and disciplined gentleman. Mr. James loved the people of Miku and also the people of St. Lucia. Mr. James never showed any bad feelings to any member in the House. Sometimes he might have been teased, but he would have just laughed. So I wish to express my condolences to his people, and may his soul rest in peace.
This weekend, Mercury Fest is set to deliver on the hype. So says the organizer, who has touted the level of local involvement and economic spin-off in this year's event. More in this report.
Mercury Fest is set to sizzle the sands of Pigeon Island with popular French superstar Kalash and Jamaican dancehall artist Popcorn, who will be making waves as they headline what is expected to be an epic event. Sheldon Michel, director of Epic Events, describes this year's event as the ultimate beach party.
Well, the plan is that we start off in Groseley from 8 p.m. People go, they eat lobby, they have some drinks, and then from 11 o'clock people shift across to come here for the ultimate party. We're expecting about 4,000 people there tonight.
Patrons can rest assured that safety procedures and security officials have been put in place to make certain a safe environment is maintained.
We have the Royal St. Lucia Police Force. They're going to be in full force today. The Port Police. We also have lifeguards. The St. Lucia Lifeguard Association going to be taking care of the people in the water.
The director of Epic Events highlights the circulation of monies throughout various tiers of the St. Lucia public.
First of all hotels are sold out. Bay Gardens, Harbour Club, Blue Hotel, even Sanders Grand, the landings, some of them are sold out. Some of the local Airbnb is sold out. Taxis are benefiting, local producers. I got all my shirts printed in St. Lucia, the local vendors, local shops. It's a trickle-down effect. Everybody is benefiting.
Mercury Fest kicks off tonight at the Friday night street party in Groseley. Reporting for Hot 7 Nightly News, I am Solange Alfred.
St. Lucia's social safety net is being reviewed to ensure that the needs of those most deserving are met. This week, experts from the World Bank were on island to assist the government in the process.
The Ministry of Equity, Social Justice, Empowerment, Youth Development, Sports, Culture and the local government hosted a technical workshop for cross-sectional stakeholders in the development of a proxy means test, SLNet, for the dispensation of appropriate social assistance to target segments of the population. The workshop was held on August 8, 2018 at the Ministry's conference room. Research Director in the Ministry, Mr. Tommy Descat, welcomed the reform and stated that the consultation comes at a time when poverty is no longer measured using one's income.
And the interesting thing also now, St. Lucia traditionally have always used just income as a measure of poverty. But now we move into multidimensional poverty, which is if you have deprivations in education, deprivations in health. And so the SLC HBS, which was done in 2016, merged both your income and your house and your multidimensional poverty. And so now the consultant is actually incorporating that into this new tool, which is a very good way of actually targeting the poor, because now if the person has a deprivation in education, you can target them through an education program. If they have a deprivation in health, you can target them through a health program, and it makes it a more targeted approach towards alleviating the poor and the indigent in St. Lucia.
At the workshop, participants were asked to critically review the Proximins test, SLNet, based on the analysis and recommendations from the World Bank consultant and economist Ms. Yadira Diaz.
The idea is to implement a single registry for potential beneficiaries for the whole country. So all the country, all the different programs, and like not only this ministry, but the different ministries, also, for example, NGOs, different institutions and agencies that have social programs can benefit from the single registry of potential beneficiaries. So the idea is to bring to put together for the country a tool that will help to target potential beneficiaries for each program.
Permanent Secretary Donovan Williams was in high spirits as he expressed the ministry's satisfaction with the ongoing collaboration and intervention by the World Bank.
What we want to do is to ensure that over time we continue to review the instrument, we continue to make changes to the instrument so that it is applicable to the society and the changing environment in which we operate. So as an example, whereas perhaps in one particular period of time having a cell phone would be an important indicator, it may not be so important now because seemingly everybody has a cell phone. So not having a cell phone need not necessarily be something that you consider to be dangerous. So it's that type of review that we want to make sure that we have an instrument that really does reflect our priorities, the needs of those who are most vulnerable, the poorest in our society, so that we can devote most of our resources to that group and not spend monies on persons who may not necessarily be the most vulnerable or the most deserving of support.
The SLNet or Proximins test serves as a scientific method of determining eligibility among the persons requiring social assistance. From the Ministry of Equity, Social Justice, Empowerment, Youth Development, Sports, Culture and the Local Government, I am Chevroy Marius.
Well, that takes us to the end of the Hot 7 Nightly News for today, Friday, the 10th of August, 2018. My name is Lovely St. Amy Joseph. Good night and have a great weekend.